In the heart of the Carpathian Mountains, nestled amid jagged peaks and ancient trees, stood the forsaken Castle Bran, long shrouded in legend and dread. It was here that 3 watchers, bound by a dark oath, kept a vigilant eye on the infamous Count Dracula, a vampire whose name was synonymous with fear. Each watcher represented a different aspect of humanity's struggle against the darkness. Eldoria, the keeper of hope. Mira, the embodiment of despair. And Thorne, the harbinger of truth. Their existence was a paradox. Cursed to witness the Count's insidious reign, they were both protectors and prisoners of his legacy. As night descended, a shroud of mist enveloped the castle, and the watchers convened in the great hall, where a flickering candlelight danced on the stone walls, casting grotesque shadows. Eldoria, with her ethereal beauty, often spoke of redemption and the chance to save lost souls, her voice a soothing balm against the encroaching darkness. Mira, with his haunted eyes, was consumed by despair, believing that every attempt to thwart Dracula was futile, as he had watched too many hopeful hearts turn to dust. Thorne, rugged and resolute, clung to the flickering flame of truth, determined to expose Dracula's monstrous nature to the world beyond the castle's cursed walls. One fateful night, a young woman named Isolde, drawn by tales of Dracula's immortality and the promise of forbidden knowledge, crossed the threshold into the castle. Her heart raced with excitement, oblivious to the malevolence that awaited her. The watchers felt a surge of urgency. They had failed to protect countless others before her, and they were determined not to let history repeat itself. As Isolde explored the castle's labyrinthine corridors, the watchers whispered warnings to her from the shadows, their voices weaving through the air like a chilling breeze. "Turn back," Eldoria urged, her spirit yearning to shield the girl from the Count's dark charm. But Isolde, emboldened by her curiosity, ventured deeper into the castle's bowels, where time seemed to stand still, and the air thickened with a sense of foreboding. In the depths of the dungeon, she stumbled upon an ancient tome, bound in cracked leather and inscribed with arcane symbols. As she traced her fingers over the pages, the words began to shimmer, revealing the truth about the Count. He was not just a vampire, but a creature of insatiable hunger, eternally cursed to feast on the blood of the living to sustain his dark powers. As she read, a low, chilling laugh echoed through the chamber, freezing her blood. Dracula emerged from the shadows, his presence both alluring and terrifying, eyes glinting with a predatory hunger. "Ah, a curious little mutt drawn to my flame," he purred, his voice a silky caress that sent shivers down her spine. Isolde felt the pull of his dark charisma, but the watchers rallied, their spirits intertwining in a desperate bid to protect her. Eldoria's gentle whisper urged her to resist, while Mira's despair intensified, foretelling the doom that awaited her should she succumb. Thorne, fueled by rage, materialized before her, revealing the truth of her predicament with a fierce urgency. "Leave now, Isolde. He will consume your soul." Thorne's voice resonated, cutting through the seductive veil of Dracula's influence. For a moment, time froze as Isolde battled the duality of fear and fascination, her heart torn between the allure of eternal life and the instinct for survival. With newfound clarity, she realized that the promise of power came at a terrible cost. Mustering her courage, she turned to flee, racing through the castle's winding corridors, the sound of her heartbeat echoing like a drum. Dracula, enraged by the prospect of losing his prey, summoned the shadows, and they writhed and twisted, reaching out like serpentine tendrils, trying to ensnare her. But the watchers, united in purpose, formed a protective barrier around her. Eldoria's light shone brighter, illuminating the path ahead, while Mira's sorrow transformed into fierce determination, his despair becoming a shield. Thorne led the charge, guiding Isolde toward the exit, his spirit igniting a fire within her that she didn't know existed. Just as she reached the heavy doors of the castle, Dracula's voice thundered behind her, "You cannot escape your fate. You are mine." But with the watchers at her side, Isolde felt a surge of strength. She pushed through the door, bursting into the moonlit night, the cool air invigorating her spirit. The castle loomed behind her, a fortress of despair, while the watchers stood guard, their forms dissolving into the shadows, having fulfilled their duty, at least for now. Isolde raced down the mountain path, heart pounding, tears streaming down her face as she realized the magnitude of what had transpired. She had escaped, but the memory of Dracula's chilling laughter lingered in her mind. The watchers, their vigil renewed, vowed to protect others from the fate she narrowly avoided, knowing that as long as Dracula roamed the earth, the cycle of terror would continue. In the darkness of the castle, the Count seethed, plotting his revenge, and the Watchers knew that their battle was far from over. They would stand against the tide of darkness, guardians of the fragile line between hope and despair, ever vigilant in a world teetering on the brink of horror.